Hello, and welcome to Dear Dana. Hello, everyone. I see Paranormal Witch Willow, one of my super mods. So nice to see you, and thank you. Get a snack and drink ready, yeah. And I see some people in the bushes. Always nice to sort of see you. I can always sense you out there. I appreciate you as well. It is getting cold, chilly here in Georgia. You know, we have pretty much two seasons. We have summer and winter. Pretty much it. In Georgia, we have those humid summer springs, and then we have winter. Hello, Marie Crum. How are you? I promised tonight would be a more uplifting, make you feel better when you leave night than some of the downers we have had lately, and I'm going to deliver. And it's not as simple as you think a conversation would be. No, it's not. Hello, Gourmet Thursday, lovely one. So happy to see you here. People are starting to trickle in. I had beautiful Harry Styles photo on my thumbnail. Yes, Eden, my precious, intelligent daughter, and I went to see Harry Styles last Wednesday. I can't believe it's already been a week. It's just flashing by. We're already in November. Let me tell you, I'm taking this whole month to get ready for Thanksgiving. I am. Not the food. I wouldn't cook this early. But girls, guys, I'm having to get my house ready starting now. Told you we were ripping the ceilings out of the kitchen, trying to get it fixed. We live in, I'm grateful. I tell you, I'm grateful. But we do live in a money pit. I snort, sorry. You know that old movie, The Money Pit? We have things to do around here. And, we put some of it on delay after losing Noah, but we are on top of it now, trying to do this and that and the other, make some repairs, paint, that kind of thing. Hello, C. Cruz. Happy to see you. Again, welcome to Dear Dana. Like, subscribe, share if you'd like, but please, especially, like and subscribe. It helps me to get eyeballs on this channel. YouTube will show the channel better if you like and subscribe. They're itchy and ornery like that. They are. We've got all these YouTube rules people don't even know about, and it's free to like. Some people actually think you have to pay to like. No, you don't. Show me some love, baby. Like the channel. Thank you. Gourmet Thursday's already got those eyeballs up on here. Yes. I appreciate all of you. And while we are waiting for more people to trickle in, I am going to throw down the intro. I'm going to throw it down. So here we go. Let's throw it down. Yes. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And that is so true. So true. It couldn't be any more true. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You know, going to Harry Styles, he taught me some stuff. He taught me I am a cooler. I didn't realize it. It's pretty bad when you realize, he kind of hot. And you're reminded that he's kind of young, but he's kind of hot. He's got this thing about him. He definitely has this thing about him. I see why Olivia likes him and does not care about her age. I see why she does not care. that she is a decade older than him. I guess I wouldn't care either. I guess he doesn't care. Oh, you don't have to thank me, Willow. You threw down some good content on that Instagram. I always appreciate good content. But I have to tell you, as funny as the hotel was, that Eden and I had to, that we stayed in that haunted hotel and having to walk so far, and the funny Uber drivers and all that stuff, if you missed it last week, actually going to the Harry Styles concert. He kept it on the, I mean, don't get me wrong, the place was packed. You had the State Farm Arena, and then you had the bigger arena next to it. Oh, Willow. But he chose, even though State Farm Arena is big, he chose, instead of the Mercedes Benz Arena, which is huge, he chose the smaller arena, State Farm Arena, which is still big, because I guess he wanted it to be a little more intimate. He wanted it to be a little more intimate. And when he put on his show, and I'm going to get to the point in a minute, even though it was beautiful and you had the screens and he was able to look at the audience in 4 different directions and screens in 4 different ways, etc., we still had great seats. He addressed his audience in 4 different ways. He wanted to make sure everyone had the connection with him. And what I, and we all have supernatural abilities to some degree, but you know that I am an evidential psychic medium, have abilities. We all have some degree of abilities in that way. But it was obvious to me, and I'm a psychotherapist, but it was obvious to me, even though he was putting on a show, he's on tour, he's done it multiple times, he's making it up from, it was supposed to happen a year and a half ago. His approach, hey, shoeless one, was genuine. It was genuine. It wasn't a put on feeling. He was enjoying it. He was enjoying the engagement of the audience. He was wanting to give back the love. And the feeling and the energy was resonating so high. It was palatable. 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 Oh, girl, I can't say it to palatable. Say that for me 3 times fast. Palatable. You know what I'm saying. You could feel it, taste it. There was an energy. The energy was resonating very, very high. I have been to many, many concerts in my life. Backstage, in the audience, in every capacity. I told you my ex-doofiest husband was part of the stage crew for many, many big performers. So I had been around shows. This was vastly different to me. There was a spiritual component to it. There wasn't, and they served alcohol there, don't get me wrong. Shoot, I couldn't stop and get a drink or Coke and alcohol, anything. Eden wouldn't let me stop and get a drink. She was like, no, we're going to the seat. We're not stopping. Didn't drink water there. The girl wouldn't let me stop. She was afraid she'd miss that millisecond of Harry. I don't blame her. A precious girl of mine. But there was something vastly different. You did not see an outbreak of a fight. You did not see any bad behavior whatsoever. None. None. You did not see anyone storming the stage. You did not see people acting crazy. You felt love. People respecting each other. There was this harmonious feeling throughout the whole arena. People weren't running over each other. When all of the lights would go off, there was movement in the same direction. When the music was going off and people were dancing in their seats, you could see emotion going in the same way. When he wanted them to, people were jumping in the same direction to a certain song. And how do I explain it? The feeling of love was just encompassing everything. Encompassing everything. And there was just a reminder to me about self-love. Self-love. And Harry Styles was such a reminder to me about self-love. And it was something that I could feel and see that he gave this message, and it was instilled in all of these, primarily girls, but some guys. It was a message instilled to all that loved him, was self-love. They felt unconditionally, it was a sense of unconditional positive regard, self-love and acceptance. And that was the connection. Not just that he sang well, not just that he was beautiful, but a sense of unconditional positive regard, a sense of self-love, that everyone was accepted. And I could feel the pull within the room. And it reminded me how important that message was. And at first I felt funny about going with Eden for a few reasons. One of the reasons was first time I was going to have to use a cane because of the amount of walking. Okay? And I told my daughter, don't you think you want to take a friend? I don't want to embarrass you. I wanted it to be a memory for her for a lifetime. I initially got him for her birthday because I know how much she loves Harry. And I knew it would make her life. And I knew how much as a family we've been through, but how much she has been through. Can you imagine? She adored her brother. Adores still. But it's difficult to be a sibling of a handicapped brother. Even more so, it's difficult to be a sibling when you've lost your brother so tragically. So hard. And people go, now you are an only child. soul crushing, soul crushing. And our life has gravitated around Noah. And it's a different kind of life. But he was the cog to our wheel, but we all loved him so much. And then he's gone, and our world goes like. And we've tried to make her life as normal as possible. But can you imagine? Can you imagine her life, right? She's intelligent and beautiful, and she's been patient, and I've tried to make her life as typical as possible. And she's had a 20-pound tumor a few years ago, she's had a 20-pound tumor. And I've tried my best to give her as normal a life as possible, but I know I've fallen short. And that's the thumbnail of it. And this can't make up for it, but I wanted this to be a big, big, huge memory. And then by the time we get to go to the concert, my MS has gone to the point that if I walked far, I needed a cane. I didn't want to embarrass her. And then she's like, "No, Mom, I want you to go." My kid, right? She's a good kid, turning into an adult. Hey, more candle company, Tia. And if anybody wants candles, especially this holiday, ooh, you better go check out her site. Not joking. And I know I mention Noah often. I don't mention my daughter enough. She does tarot too, by the way. She's super intuitive. She's just becoming more comfortable with her abilities. I don't push because she has to be more comfortable coming into her own. But I don't know what I would do without my daughter, let me just say. But I did say her first reaction the second that Harry Styles walked out was just emotion coming out every pore of her being in a way that just shocked me because she tends to be so stoic. It was just emotion everywhere. And I'm sure it was like, oh, I love Harry. And then other things, right? But I was just like, whoa, this was like the best gift ever I gave her. But I can see how drawn and why so many people are drawn to him, which made me love him even more. But it reminded me, this is a message we need more. We forget. This is a spiritual internal gift we have for ourselves. And I remember, it made me remember coming out of that story time, first abusive marriage. There were good times in it, but there was a lot of abuse. So much abuse. Some physical, a lot of emotional. See, I didn't have Eden then. Eden is a product of this marriage I'm in now. This marriage where my husband adopted Noah. And we had Eden. Very abusive marriage, of which I got out of shortly after Noah was born. And let me tell you, as hard as it was to be a single mother with a handicapped child, and I'm going to be honest with you, I still took some clients in a brick and mortar as a therapist as I was working through my own crap. I was a psychotherapist. I consider myself smart. And I was going through an abusive marriage. Sometimes, if you've been through stuff in your life young and you see stuff and it seems normal to you, you repeat some stuff because you haven't worked things out. So let me remind you, if you have had issues in your life, whether as a child, you've watched it, whatever, and you have not worked through these issues or these problems, you will repeat them. You will end up in another kind of relationship. I don't care if it's a love relationship, a friendship, something. And unconsciously attract it and repeat the dynamics of something you did not work out until you work it out, until a light bulb goes off and you are able to sort out what has occurred and learn it. Does that make sense? And it may be on an unconscious level because you aren't aware. You didn't get the lesson. Nobody taught you. You thought it was normal. Those dynamics will occur in your life somewhere, somehow, until you're able to work through it. That being said, let me fast forward. When that marriage broke up, when I asked him to leave and got separated and eventually tricked him into a legal separation and finally tricked him into a divorce, that's how it had to go. I had to trick him because he didn't want out. He didn't want a divorce. He didn't want a separation. He wanted his cake and eat it too. He didn't want out, though. He didn't want out. I had to trick him. But let me tell you, I do not know how I survived financially. Looking back, I can't even tell you. I was clever and I was mindful. I did not want to get any kind of assistance. I scrounged. He did continue to pay the mortgage, but everything else was on me, baby. I don't know how I did it. He didn't pay child support. He considered the mortgage child support. And it was cheap mortgage because it was a house out in the country. And we had lived there for a while. So I felt the freest I had ever felt in my entire adulthood. I felt the freest I had ever felt. I had the responsibility of my son, and I still would have some clients, but I felt the freest I had ever felt. I was in the mode of self-discovery. I was educating myself more about my son's rare conditions. I still had to go to a specialist. I was learning things online. I was connecting with people online. I was connecting more in my at the university and in the realm of my field. Sometimes I would have to see clients and take no one with me. That's the way it was. But I was learning more about myself. I would cut music on and dance to my heart's desire like I used to dance when I was a dancer. Not a stripper, mind you, not a pole dancer. No offense to those that are. But I would dance to my heart's desire. I was doing Taimbo, pulling out those old DVDs, doing Taimbo. I was writing. I was submitting some of my writings. I was doing research. I was figuring out who I was as an individual. and I felt like I had nobody to hold me back, and I was taking care of my child. It was the strangest feeling. It was like I had bursted out of a rock. Paranormal. Now, how do you know I was not a stripper now? Things could happen. Stranger things have happened. You just don't know. But sometimes, sometimes we have to um, really take a good look at ourselves. When we limit ourselves, we downplay our energy. We don't attract people into our lives, not just love or lovers, people into our lives that can open up a certain world, right? Or opportunities, or love, if you're looking for love. Let's put it this way. Let me ask those in the bushes and those in the chat. Are there things in your life you don't forgive yourself for? Or you have not forgiven yourself for? Curious. Are there things in your life you don't forgive yourself for? I'm asking you. Are there things in your life you don't forgive yourself for? Another question. I'd be willing to bet you there are friends and people and even strangers in your life that you are kind to. Kind to in a way that you're not kind to yourself in that way. So would you call yourself a hypocrite? If you're kind to everybody else in that way and you're not kind to yourself in that way. It's curious, isn't it? How can you be kind to people in that way and not kind to yourself in that way? Is it right? Is it fair? It's almost a necessity that you need to be kind to yourself in the same way that you're kind to your friends and even strangers. That's part of self-love. And if you want to resonate at the same level that you allow or you want to draw people into your life, it's a necessity that you're kind to yourself in the same way that you are willing to be kind to even strangers or your friends or your family. When I ask you that question, what does it make you think? I want you to be honest about it. Because if you can tweak that, it's going to begin to change your life. No BS. If you can tweak that I just said to you, it's going to begin to change your life. And it's not magic overnight. It may take you a minute or two. It may take you a minute or two, or a day or two. It takes practice. But you have to be able to learn to give yourself that same grace that you are giving others. Otherwise, it's like the levels for you are here, but you're treating others higher, like they're worth more. So those people are resonating at this level, and they're hobnobbing with people at that level. And you're only hobnobbing kind of here. You get what I'm saying? So the opportunities are only landing here with you. So if you're able to give yourself grace and kindness where you're leveling up here, are you kind of getting the message of what I'm saying? It's so quiet in the chat. Why is it always so quiet in my chat? I want to hear some commotion. I want to hear some commotion. I want to make sure that I'm not losing people. I'm going to throw down the link in case anybody wants to come up. Exactly. Tell your good, Cruz. I don't want to be preachy or where everybody's like, oh no, she's talking to herself again. Exactly. Tell yourself what you would tell a friend. Stay strong. You got this. I will always love you and be here for you. That is what I tell myself. Oh, go see Cruz. Let me tell you. And maybe this will make sense. I love that. I was cleaning the fridge. Maybe you can relate. Good, Marie. One of the shelves, I took it out and cleaned it, and one of them had a piece of glass that was sliding, and I was trying to put it back in, and it had these real squirrely screws on it. And I was sitting there, and dang thing would not go back in. Nobody was home, and it was just a certain way. I did not want to ask for help. So I'm sitting there going, Dana, you can do this. You don't need any help. You have got this. You will get that thing back in. And I kept saying it. Because let me tell you, there's some things with MS, you got to ask for help sometimes. I'm not giving in to this. Let me tell you, I will not give in to this. I had to use a cane at the concert. Generally, I don't need a cane. In general, I do not need one. I needed one because that was a long, long, long walking night. And sometimes with MS, your brain will go, okay, you're done. You're not walking anymore. And you need a little assist. I was afraid it was going to be a night like that. I'd been walking so much, my legs would go, you're done. You get my drift. I did not want to need help. So sometimes you got to do some self-talk. Paranormal says, I don't have much friends, but I always try to be nice to everyone and myself equally. But when you are hurt, sometimes you don't want to burden people with your problems. I get what you're saying, Paranormal Willow. But I want to say to you, there have been times I have heard you talk yourself down so hard. I have heard you talk yourself down so hard. I'm hearing you do better. But in the past, I've heard you talk yourself down so hard. But I am hearing you do much better. And I love it. C. Cruz said, I just recently stopped feeling shame for having anxiety. I love that so much, C. Cruz. I love that so much. I'm a psychotherapist, and sometimes I have anxiety. I am so glad you don't feel shame for it anymore. Look, so many people have it. Not many people want to admit it. It is so common. I know you are, Willow. I have seen it. I have seen it with you, Willow. I've seen it with you. And I am so proud of you. You have done a million times better. You're stronger. You're a warrior woman. You have made huge strides, Willow. But tonight, there are a few things I want us to recognize. Look, it took me hitting a wall. It took me hitting a wall. A marriage falling apart. Now, it needed to. So, a single divorce, well, on the way to a divorce, with a handicapped child, not having enough money, medically fragile, he had multiple specialists, right? And I felt more free than I had my whole adult life and didn't know how things were going to happen. But the spiritual side of me, the part of me that I was allowing to come out, that was the other thing. I had stuffed my abilities so hard and tried to only use them when I had clients. I didn't let them know I had the abilities. I just tried to use them to help the clients get better faster. I was ashamed I had the abilities. Ashamed. Didn't want people to judge me for them. I was ashamed that I was an evidential psychic medium, even though I'd been tested. I was ashamed. I was hiding it. I was in the closet. I had been outed by that professor. I'd been outed. I didn't know how it was going to affect my career. I didn't want to be judged by the people of the churches in the community because I was in the South. I didn't know how some of my family members, the more it went around, even though I'd had it my whole life, I stuffed it. I was ashamed. A lot of people want to yell it from the rafters. I was ashamed. On this channel, it's the most I've ever talked about it. It's the most I've ever talked about it. And now I'm finally starting to feel more free about saying, I will help people on this channel or by referral and accept love offerings. That's a huge step for me. But I was ashamed. Right? Now I'm loving myself for it. We all have our things. We all have our things. Yes, everyone, Marie says, everyone suffers from anxiety at some time in their life. My gifts gave me anxiety. The fact that I could see people sometimes from the other side gave me anxiety. As a little kid, gave me anxiety. We all have our things. But finally getting out of that marriage, didn't know what was going to happen, but started feeling stronger. Like I could handle so much. Didn't know how much I was going to have to face after that. We are stronger than we think we are. But sometimes, we go through these changes in our life. We're very young, we're in our youth, then we go in our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, our 50s. We get older and we transition. We don't look the same. Our body changes. We look different as we age. And people go, well, if I only lost 20 pounds, if I only had a few less wrinkles, if only. We have to throw the if only away and really look deep in the mirror and look at your soul and look at who you are as a person. As a person. I used to I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. I didn't like what I looked like. I didn't like what I looked like because I wanted to look more like my mom. Because I really didn't look like anybody in my family. Because I wasn't taller. Because I wasn't skinnier. Because of this or that. Or because my hair was so curly. And I was constantly, if this was this way, if that was that way. And now I can finally, and maybe it comes with losing your child or digging a little deeper or realizing, you know, time is of the essence. But I can look in the mirror now. I like my soul. I am not a perfect human, but I like who I am. I know that I have a good heart. I know that I care about people. I know that I'm loyal. I know that I'm kind. I know that I'm honest. I know that I have integrity. This is what I want you to do when you wake up and you, sometime during the day, when nobody's around to think you're crazy, I want you to really look at yourself and look at the things you've accomplished. Look at yourself in the eyes and tell yourself the things you like about yourself. Look at what you have accomplished. Look at your soul. Look in your eyes and say, I like you. I love you. I love that you are a kind person. I love that you care about people. I love that you try hard to do whatever it is. And I want you to end it with, I love you. Do you get what I'm saying? And you will be surprised what wells up in you. Sometimes when you're young, you get derogatory messages thrown at you. Willow, don't try, do. Let me tell you why. The derogatory messages you get thrown at you from people that probably should give you positive messages, that is not about you. That is about them. That has nothing to do with you. That is about their wounds or their trauma or their lack of being able to do it. That has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. Like, for instance, Willow, you're raising two little boys. When you look in the mirror, you know that you can say, I love that you are a good mama. I love that you try so hard. I love that you are working for your GED. You have so many good things that you can say to yourself. There is no try. There is no try. There is do. There is do. That is how you love yourself. The negative and derogatory messages that you got from people that should have been giving you loving messages, again, I want you to hear me. Compartmentalize it and put it somewhere else. That was never about you. That was never about you. That was about them. That was about their lack of loving themselves, their lack of education. It was about their ignorance, their trauma. That was about them. That was never about you. That was never about you. Can you hear me? It was never about you. Never about you. Be mindful. Be mindful. Use your mindfulness to go within yourself about how you want to feel in your world. How do you want to feel in your body, in your world? How do you want to feel in your body, in your world, in this moment? You are in control of that. You are in complete control of that right now. Nobody else is. You are in control of how you want to feel right now. You choose how you want to feel in your world right now. Be mindful of that. Act on what you need in your life. Act on what you need in your life. What do you need? Ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need to feel safe, loved, and okay right now? What is it that I need to feel? Put your hand on your heart right now. Those in the bushes, those in the chat, put your hand on your heart right now. I want you to say to yourself, close your eyes and say, I feel safe, I feel love, everything is okay. Then I want you to say, what do I need to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel okay in this moment? What do I need to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel okay in this moment? And what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? And try to have that source of imagery accessible to you. They're probably simple things. So whenever you're feeling stressed, you put your hand on your heart. I feel safe. I am loved. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm loved. I'm okay. And also be one of your sources of love. I want you to learn to be a source, one of your sources of love. And if we have to go over this again, if I have to have a class, and I think maybe I need to have a class, so we learn to be a source of our own love. It's not about arrogance. It's not about narcissism. I'm not saying love yourself over all beings. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying love yourself equally to how you love others. At least, at minimal, equally to how you love strangers or your friends. Not below. Because if you learn to love yourself equally, I promise you, supernaturally, things are going to open up in unexpected ways. Supernaturally. Because you're going to resonate high or not even realize it. I can almost promise you in this tiny moment right now, in this tiny moment right now, you have a sense around you, this little bit of energy around you right now feels different. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am because I'm feeling it as well. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Blow out. And tell me the truth. Take another deep breath. Hold it. Does the energy around you just right now feel the same? Does it feel a little different than when you came in? Same or different? Just curious. Same or different? Now, I'm sure that you have heard this before. We have this Maslow's. You probably heard this in school. Same for you, Marie. We have this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we probably forget about it. But we have our physiological needs. And what those are, it's like, when you're hungry, thirsty, have to go to the bathroom, all of that stuff are physiological needs. Those are our primary basic needs. And then we have our safety needs. We have the need to be at home, feel safe, secure, etc. Then we have our belongingness. Belongingness and love needs. Those are how they tend to go. It's like the first, second, third. And then it goes to esteem needs. We need to feel as though we have self-esteem, right? And on top of it, where we ultimately strive to go, and maybe we usually get there when we go to heaven, is where we self-actualize. Sorry for the messy writing. Where we try to figure out, hey, Shannon Man, who we truly are. Who we truly are. We become, that is the end game, where we self-actualize and become who we truly feel like we're meant to be, right? So we all always seem to land on these two places and seesaw. So do you feel like you are at esteem needs, belongingness, and love needs? Where are you on this paradigm? Where would you say you are? Esteem needs, belongingness, and love needs? I feel like all of us are still in a place of everybody's trying to self-actualize. I can't talk. Self-actualize. Because if we already had, we probably wouldn't be here. Know what I mean? So we all kind of seesaw, and we get a hit to the self-esteem, we get a hit to the belongingness when our relationships go awry. But I feel like the key of what we're missing. The key of what we're missing is if we really took the time to go within and to learn to go beyond the surface of all this, right? And go beyond the surface of all the messages, the negative trauma, the messages maybe we got from parents that didn't know how to give us the love we needed, or bad relationships, or etc., all the loops we play in our head, and realize that it wasn't about us, it was about them, and go to here, go within, and play the messages, excuse me for the wheeziness, it's the weather, that we know, we know for a fact the things that are true, and it does not make you self-involved to love yourself for the things you know are true. You know whether you have a good heart or not, yes or no? Yes or no? You know whether you work hard to be a kind person, yes or no? You know whether, for something else, you know whether you're a loyal friend or not. Right. So you know what's true and what's not true about you. You know if you have a hot temper. So you might not go, ooh, I love you because you have a hot temper. Muy caliente. No. So you go to yourself, look into your eyes, into your soul, and tell yourself what you love yourself about. It's not being egotistical or narcissistic. You also know what you need to work on. So you work on those things, and that's where you go and make promises to yourself. You make promises to yourself. You write notes about the things you know you want to level up on. I promise you that right now, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I am working on. I promise you, Dana, I'm making you this promise. Because look, all day long, we make promises to other people. And by gosh, we're not going to break that promise to our friend, to our mother, to our brother, to our neighbor. Because we promised them, right? Because our word is our word, and we promise him. So I'm asking you, make a promise to yourself. And do not break it. Do not break it. That is part of showing up for yourself. Show up for yourself like you show up for other people. That is part of loving yourself. That is part of loving yourself like you love other people. Don't shove yourself aside. Quit doing that. Please quit doing that. See, when I said about loving yourself, you see how many people showed up. I don't think it's a bad message. I don't think it's the message people expected they would hear. Right? It's an important message. It is an important message. Because I'm telling you, I promise you, you start doing these things. You start showing up for you the way that you do for other people. Because these are loving things to do, right? These are ways you show love to other people. And you will start seeing doors open up for you in ways you didn't expect. because you will resonate higher. You will resonate higher. I'm also asking you to set boundaries for yourself. Do not say yes to everybody. Don't say yes to everybody. If you're doing that, don't. Set boundaries. If someone asks you to do something and in your gut you feel like, ugh, it's going to make things hard on me. I don't really have time. I've got this and this and this to do. I don't feel good about it. You know, have that feeling inside your body. Or you know they don't have your best well-being in mind. Set boundaries. Kindly say no. Sometimes no is good for you. That's another way of loving yourself. It's another way of loving yourself. It just is. Protect yourself. Protect yourself from energy that feels negative in your life. Ask for your angels or your guides, or just generally set really strong boundaries and don't deviate. But surround yourself with a shield of white light, or stand strong in your boundaries and don't deviate. People will respect you. They will respect you more if you don't become their rug. It's true. They will respect you more if you don't become their rug and you stay strong in your boundaries. I have had to learn it the hard way. Trust me. I'm reading off my notes. Learn to do something that inspires you. Do something that makes you feel good, that inspires you. Like set some kind of goal. It doesn't have to be grandiose. It can be something small. It can be something small that once you've done it, it just makes you be like, ooh, I did that. Right? I did that. Like, this is dumb. It's dumb. A year ago, I wanted to learn how, and it's really dumb. I'm sure a million people have done it. I wanted to learn how to crochet and knit. Yeah, that's true, Marie. I wanted to learn how to crochet and knit. So I watched a couple of videos online one day. And then I bought some yarn. And then I bought some needles. And I didn't know what I was doing. So I took them and just started. I remember my grandmother doing it when I was really little. And she tried to teach me how to do like one row. I mean, I was probably 4 or 5. And I took that yarn and messed with it until I started doing it. And I don't know if I got the first thing I did in here. I'll show you the first thing I did. Hold on. Okay. It's all crooked. It's not perfect. And I just started doing it, whatever. This is the first thing I did. And it's not really anything. But if I get cold, it works. You know what I mean? I just wanted to learn something. So then this was the second. So that's what I mean. Just find something. Just get a trigger hair and find something that inspires you. That's out of the realm of what you normally would do. Oh, thank you, Marie. Just find something out of your normal. I don't care if it's a dance class, whatever it is. Find something to inspire you, make you feel good about you. Make you feel good about you. It's time to fall in love with you. And if you're looking for love, those that are looking for a partner, those that are looking for love, all these things I'm telling you, when you're out and about, it will boost your confidence in such a way. All these things will boost your confidence in such a way that it will give this air about you that will have people gravitate toward you. You won't have to work hard. You won't have to work hard for attention whatsoever because it will, I don't know how to explain it. Instead of seeming offish or like nobody's going to come to you or been drawn to you, all these things that you're doing to fall in love with yourself or learn to love yourself, let's put it that way, it will make you resonate in such a way people will just gravitate to you. New friends will gravitate other people. And like Willow, once you get more out of your home, you will make new friends. Other people will come your way. It just changes the energy around you. Trust me, it does. There's just a different nuance about you. And you don't have to do much of anything. It's, it goes back to that your vibe attracts your tribe. Your vibe changes. Your vibe changes. You just really need to show up for yourself. I cannot stress it enough. Show up for yourself. And self-care, so important. Do little things of self-care. Take time to take a special bath, right? Do a pedicure for yourself. Do a mask for yourself. Do little things to take care of yourself in a different way that show love. When you learn to go within and love yourself, it creates a domino effect. And those that begin to look for partners or look for love on the outside, it just opens up a whole nother chapter for you. You are not limited. Your options are bigger and better. Your options become bigger and better. Truth. Truth, truth, truth. Because if you cannot go out into the world and expect someone to come into your life and say, "Oh, you've made my world. I just love you. You're beautiful. This and that and the other." Then of course you're going to feel high as a kite and feel beautiful and all this stuff. But if they walk away, you're deflated again. But if you learn to go within and say, "I love this about you and I love that about you," it's not about some flaky ya thing. You become confident with who you are and how you've grown and how you've changed through all this adversity and all the hurdles you've overcome and every experience you've had and how you've grown as a person and all the changes that you have, like a butterfly has turned in from a caterpillar, right? We do not look the same as time goes on, but our soul expands. And you have to remember that is who we really are. That's who we really are. If all this was who we really are, it wouldn't keep changing. It wouldn't keep changing. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to preach. I'm sorry. I just really want you all to know how very beautiful you are. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are gifted on so many levels. I want you to own it. I want you to see it. I want you to be able to feel it because that is the key. That is the key that is in your hand right now. That is the key that is in your hand that is going to open up so much more for you, that will allow you to have so much more richness in your life. And that is what I want for you. I want you to have more moments and richer experiences and richer relationships, whether it be romantic or friendly, etc. So that is my message. That is what Harry Styles triggered within me when I went to the concert. And I'm hoping that it brings some value because I feel like so many people are forgetting it. The world's moving too fast, too much is going on, too much negativity, and we are not taking the time to reap the benefits of the gifts that are right in our hands. And people are not looking within to realize the beauty of who they are and the love that is right there within you that you're giving to everybody else, but you're not, it's like you're letting it overflow to everybody, but you're not allowing it to gift the vessel that it's in. Don't do that. The Creator wouldn't want that. Why would you do that? It's like allowing liquid gold to coat everything around you, but not coat the vessel. Don't do that. Coat the vessel, make it stronger. Make it stronger. Coat yourself with love so you overflow even more. That's what I want for you. Because I know when I'm connected to all of you, it doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day, if I have a headache, which I've had all day, and let me tell you, when I connect with all of you, I'm not feeling that headache now. It's completely gone. I feel a sense of healing and higher higher energy and resonating higher and just love. Just love and light. Do any of you have any questions or comments? Anything of that sort? And I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come. People probably thought, oh, that's a boring topic. I don't want to hear about love tonight. I know there was a lot of other lives going on tonight as well. I'm still trying to figure out my times and all that stuff. So many lives going on. And if you have any suggestions, if you would like it to be at a different time, please let me know. If you have any suggestions about other shows you'd like to hear about, If you would like for me to go more supernatural or psychic, let me know that way too. Again, I'm opening myself up to do private appointments for healing or readings or even spiritual coaching appointments, but it's private. I'll do those private via Zoom. Just DM me on Instagram. Please leave comments below if you have any comments about today's show. And if you want to buy me a coffee, you can do so via miracles3 at charter.net and PayPal. Love coffee. I hope I didn't bore anyone about today. I just thought it was a beautiful thing that we experienced with Harry Styles. I feel like it's a really important message that people really need to take the time to try to give themselves some love. Because I know they will have better, loving relationships if they do that first, because they will attract exactly what they want and need, and not the bad guys or the bad girls. Oh, thank you, Willow. You are always so sweet, and you are a wonderful mod. I just didn't have the people show up I thought I would tonight, but that's okay. That is okay. I am grateful for all of you that did show up. And I am absolutely grateful for those in the bushes. Always, always. And we are growing. Last I looked, we were at 358 subscribers. Always grateful. I am appreciative. And I love my sweet daughter. I need to say that more and more and more. I don't mention Eden as much as I should. I need to say that more. My Eden Angelica is my heart. But I guess I will end on that note. Again, we finished October. Oh, yeah, and Cleo Smith, the little girl in Australia, the 4-year-old that's been missing, I guess, for 18 days, they found her. They found her. She was by herself in a house, and they later arrested the guy that kidnapped her. I don't know the other details. I had visualized something different, but I guess I've been on the track of all the bad things. I was right about the other cases, but I am so glad they found her. It's the one time I'm glad that I was wrong. I don't know if I was wrong about some of the details, but I was wrong about who I thought got her. One time I'm glad I'm wrong. Precious baby. Don't know all the other details. Ugh. That would have just terrified me. But anyway, on a final note, everybody, love yourselves. Love yourselves. I'm asking you, just take, when you see yourself in the mirror, look into your eyes, into your soul, and say, I love you for doing XYZ. And make a promise to yourself to accomplish some things that you need to, at least one thing that you know you need to work on. That you know you need to work on. Like, I'm trying to be more organized. That's one thing I'm working on. I am not the most organized person in the world. And I am not paying attention to negative YouTube stuff. Not paying attention to negative YouTube stuff that brings me down. You know, all the negative, fighty kind of stuff. No. Not going to do it. Shutting down. But on that note, I love you all so very much. Go out and love yourselves. I hope it makes sense to why I'm asking you to do this. Oh, thank you, Marie Crumb. Thank you, Willow. Thank you, more candles. Please go check her out. Her candles smell great. Sea Cruise, thank you for being here. Gourmet Thursday. Everybody that showed up. Thank you for those in the bushes. I will see you all Saturday evening. I don't know what the topic is yet. I'm going to try to make that one really fun. Don't want to do any dark stuff. Thank you, my wonderful mod, Paranormal Witch, Willow. Did I see Sheila's went in here for a second? Thank you, Shan, for popping in. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And I will see you all Saturday. Love yourselves. And remember, your tribe, your vibe. I said it backwards, didn't I? Your vibe attracts your tribe. Until next time, and here we go. Bye, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and share. Take it easy. Here we go. Do, 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 do.